fire at long was just a beauty at that. Big, even in towards the mid-control. Do not get picked off by the AWP.
Config caught, flashed off, Molotov sent down his direction, completely blinded on Keto's part. Config with 1 and 2, almost 3. So close towards it, and BlameF will finish off the job. Everything from both sides sent into long, and Astralis will come up far better for it.
Config showing a masterclass right here on Dust 2. He's really shaped up to be someone special in a map like this. A double kill. You could almost call it 3 when that initial trade comes through, and now they're grouping together, Jay. Playing as a unit, moving into the upper tunnels. B's open right now.
As Farman's left the bomb site and everything. No way back in to defend it. They've got to go all down to the retakes. No saving for Big this time. And Searson's so far away. He'll start to make his way up with the AWP, but surely this is impossible, Dweg.
Farlick in the upper tunnels with the NWP. Just scoped in on the angle.
He's not going to move. The noise building, the pressure mounting. Farthen back to make his move in, and his move out of the round. Maybe out of the match. Searson alone with an AWP for a retake. 4 players on site now. He'll peek and prod, but he will be pummeled in. 60-13, Astralis will be in the grand finals of the Pinnacle Cup Championship after a monstrous, overwhelming Ancient and a hell of a comeback on Dust 2. You can't say they haven't earned it, Dwayne, because they have.
They played so well. They worked so hard for this. 4-10 down on Dust 2, and they turn it into a victory. We don't have to see the third map. They've done it in 2.
Surely it should have gone that distance with the way that Big started things off, but the choke of a lifetime will have them battling in the lower bracket in the elimination game tomorrow. For Astralis, they can take the next 16 or so hours off, prepare for their grand final matchup because they're in contention for that trophy. It's back to Parla and the boys.
Thank you so much, Jay and Dweg. Yeah, what stood out to me on Dust 2 was the fact that Astralis held on. As the guys casting said, at one point they were down 10-5 at the end of that first half, and then it got worse before it got better, Pavlos and Dinko.
Yeah, it was even 7-0 at the beginning there for Big, and it started to seem, okay, the narrative will continue just like we painted it, right? This is Big's home ground, this is where they're supposed to shine, and at the end of things, Astralis knew what they had to pick up, knew that every single one of those individuals had to step up to the plate, and my God, they did.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Big. Again, they got to feel like one game away from a grand final yet again. They were in the same position in Dallas just a few days ago, right during the semifinals over there, and it's going to feel so heartbreaking when you don't have Crimbo just on this day. But this could have been it, right? The fact that it really felt like it was the mentality shift as well. When you're up so many rounds early, it feels like you've got so much control of the game. And then suddenly, you know, when the going gets a little bit rough, they can't figure it out. I think when we switch over to that T side, Astralis were finding quite a bit of success. It was long side, and these long plays out. I think Tizium misfired a little bit in terms of some of those long control hit. You know, he couldn't really get the impact required when Astralis was challenging out long time and time again. But yeah, for Big, it's going to be disappointing. But shout out to Keto for coming in last minute and at least playing the matchup.
Yeah, the journey's not over yet. That's the good thing. But something I want to highlight as well in this particular matchup was the fact that both Glaive and Xyp9x did come up strong, right? Glaive more consistent all around, but I think this matchup, what dictated the pace was generally a lot of clutches, and Xyp9x was there, Glaive was there. Every single one of these players from Astralis got it done, really. And I think what attributed to that, really, was also the crowd. You never really heard too much noise when Big got those kills, but when Astralis was able to find an advantage, the crowd would go wild. And that is one of the reasons why Astralis had so much composure, felt so much more comfortable to take on this win.
Yeah, I mean, Astralis just kicked into gear in that second half as well. T-side, fantastic performance yet again from BlameF, but it's Config that shows up in this final map. And Config definitely has had a few quieter performances throughout the competition so far, but when it matters most, when you need that grand final spot, Config shows up, and hopefully that's the sign of things to come when they move into that grand final. But for Big, you know, you move down into that lower bracket side of things, the consolidation final between Big and Heroic. You've got to feel like this was your best chance, right? A weaker Astralis, Astralis that definitely should be weaker than Heroic. Now Big, you've got to do it the hard way, and given their performance today, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. So it feels a little disappointing for them right now. But for the Astralis side, this